Bishop Pius Muiru's life has been marked by both influence and controversy, making him one of the most talked about religious figures in Kenya. Over the years, his name has frequently surfaced in public debates, particularly surrounding his ministry practices, legal battles, and associations with other controversial religious leaders. One of the most persistent criticisms directed at Muiru centers on his embrace of the prosperity gospel. He has faced backlash for promoting and selling items he described as spiritually empowered, including miracle car prayer cards and anointed nails, which he claimed could unlock financial breakthroughs and employment opportunities. To supporters, these were acts of faith. To critics, they raised serious concerns about the exploitation of vulnerable followers seeking hope in difficult economic circumstances. His ministry has also been entangled in legal disputes. A notable conflict emerged between him and Pastor Andrew Mlewa Makare, a former protege he had ordained. The dispute revolved around church land in Watamu, with allegations that the property had been taken over and repurposed to establish a separate ministry. Around the same time, a deeply personal tragedy shook his family: the 2017 murder of his mother, Grace Wangari. The case triggered a painful court battle involving close family members, including testimony from his wife, Reverend Lucy Muiru, and allegations involving his daughter-in-law. Muiru's public image was further shaped by his vocal defense of Pastor Ezekiel Odero during investigations linked to the Shakahola cult's tragedy. While many religious leaders distanced themselves, Muiru openly described the scrutiny as persecution of the church, drawing both support and criticism. Additionally, unverified allegations of bigamy have circulated online, though he has consistently maintained his long-standing marriage with his wife Lucy. Beyond the controversies lies the story of a man who rose from modest beginnings. Born on August 20, 1949, in Yeri County, Muiru grew up in a middle-class Christian household. His father, a schoolteacher, passed away when he was just 3 years old, leaving his mother to raise a large family of 8 children, where Muiru was the 7th born. Despite early hardships, he developed strong communication skills and became known as a confident speaker during his school years. His educational journey began at Karega Primary School, followed by Gituru Secondary School, where he excelled in discipline and debate. He later joined Muguga High School for his A-level studies. Decades later, in a move that surprised many, he returned to academia and earned a Bachelor of Laws degree from University of Nairobi in 2023, expanding his influence into the legal field. Muiru's path into ministry was not immediate. Although raised in a Christian environment, he only formally entered evangelism in the early 1990s. His early work involved interpreting for Tanzanian preachers at Jivanji Gardens. Soon after, he began preaching on his own, drawing large crowds with his charismatic delivery. By the mid-1990s, he had founded the Maximum Miracle Center, initially holding services at the iconic Odeon Cinema. What started as a small gathering grew into a global ministry with hundreds of branches. His influence expanded further in 1998 with the launch of his popular radio and television program, Kuna Nuru Gisani, There is Light in Darkness, which became a household name across Kenya. In 2017, he established Nuru TV, cementing his place as a pioneer of televangelism in the country. In 2007, Muiru made history by stepping into politics, becoming one of the first prominent Kenyan preachers to run for president under the Kenya People's Party. He launched his campaign at Kamakunji grounds and also vied for a parliamentary seat in Kamakunji constituency. Despite his bold entry, he finished 5th in the presidential race, marking a short-lived political career. At home, Muiru shares his life with his wife, Reverend Lucy Muiru, whom he considers both a partner in marriage and ministry. Together, they co-founded their church and built a family deeply involved in its operations. Their children, including Pastor Andrew Young Muiru, Linda Muiru, and Princess Ma, have taken on various roles within the ministry, continuing the family's religious legacy. Financially, Muiru is considered one of Kenya's wealthier televangelists, with estimates placing his net worth in the billions of shillings. His wealth is tied to church assets, media ventures, and real estate, including properties in Runda and Kigumo. His ministry also owns land in Watamu and operates numerous church branches alongside charitable initiatives such as a children's home. Through decades of ministry, public scrutiny, and personal trials, Bishop Pius Muiru has remained a complex figure, revered by followers, questioned by critics, yet undeniably influential in shaping modern televangelism in Kenya.